probably looking at this motorcycle saying, oh yeah, all they did was change the styling. And you'd be sort of right. They did do a lot of stuff right underneath the surface with a brand new wheel in the rear. It's designed to be lighter and more rigid. It has a different spoke pattern. The rim is technically the same, but naturally with a different spoke pattern, it has to have, the holes are drilled different. It's got a wider rim. Instead of a 1.85, it's now a 2.15, and it's got a bigger tire in the rear with a 110 instead of a 100. The other big thing when it comes to tires is Yamaha on the 250 has spec'd it out for a while now with Bridgestones. They got the opportunity, talking to the testing department, they got the opportunity to pick a tire solely based on performance. They decided to change it from the Bridgestone that it came with last year and years prior to now it comes with a Dunlop MX33 on it. Suspension-wise, there is changes made to the 2022 model as well. On the shock, it was all about clicker adjustments and nothing major internally, but on the fork, they did do internal changes, and naturally that's going to change the clickers as well. They wanted to get the bike have a little bit more balance feel, not dive as much. So there is other stuff that we like about the Yamaha. It's got the adjustable triple clamps. Yamaha changed the game when they brought out their mapping app. All the other manufacturers are still trying to catch up with that. This bike has that naturally. It's got a programmable map switch on the fly, 2 of the stock maps in there, and then you can go and change them both, or you can change one of them to be able to go to the map that you want. They have a variety of maps available on their website as well. All the stuff that we liked about the Yamaha in years prior, it returns with that. Some changes. That's enough talking you want the in-depth specs. Head over to dirtbikemagazine.com. We're gonna go ride this thing. So we just got done with our first day of testing on the 22 Yamaha YZ250F here at Fox Raceway. The test rider you saw in the video is Sean Lipinovich. Naturally, you could tell he's a little bit on the smaller side. We did have some riders that are on the larger side and then riders that are in the middle. The best part about this motorcycle is you can adjust it to fit those riders. We do, even on the 250F, we have done a taller seat because the transition between the seat and the peg height, some riders feel like they're a little bit cramped. Stock position of the handlebars now for Yamaha is in the front position with the mounts turned around backwards, so it kind of gives you a middle ground. Everybody likes that. Even, like I said, Sean being a smaller rider, still liked that setup, felt like he had enough room to move around. And then some of the larger riders as well had that room to move around. When it comes to the rear wheel, some of the test riders did notice that they got a little bit more traction out of it. We're not sure if that's from the wider tire or the difference in tires going from a Bridgestone to now riding with a Dunlop. But there was a little bit better traction in the rear. When it comes to the fork adjustments that they made, everybody noticed that it does keep it kind of higher up in the stroke to where it doesn't have that diving going into corners. Like we said before, performance-wise, the Yamaha does really good, and you could tell on a professional level, they won a lot of championships this year. So the bike is a great setup. It's won our shootout for the last couple years, so we do like this motorcycle. The mapping, Yamaha has written the standard for that. All of the other manufacturers are trying to catch up. This bike comes with 2 standard maps in it. We put what they call the rev map in it to get a little bit more on towards the top of the mid and then just more over rev on top. That map is available on Yamaha's website, and I believe it is called the rev map. Again, this is our first day of testing on this 2022 Yamaha YZ250F, but across the board, all the test riders that rode it today like what they've done. They like the changes that they've made, nothing negative. All the test riders that rode the bike today said positive things about the changes that they've made for 2022. But again, this is our first day of testing. We plan on putting a lot more time on this motorcycle, and if we can get some of the other motorcycles here quickly, we'll throw it into a shootout and see where it comes out. Last year it won, the previous year it won. Can it win again? Only time will tell. If you got a little bit more time on your hands and you want to check out some of the other year 22 videos that we've done, click the video thumbnail now. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all of our latest releases.